So the next step when we're using an OrCAD symbol file, we read in the pin data. The next step is to run SMART-FRAC. And SMART-FRAC is going to do all the hard work for us here. It's actually going to read that file and it can figure out the XY coordinates of all the pins. So what it does is it actually builds symbol description language to recreate the file, that recreate the symbols for us. So let's double click and run here. We get this pop-up because there's no pin group to symbol map file defined to tell SMART-FRAC what pin groups to place in what symbols. In this case, we don't need the file because SMART-FRAC will already know where to place every pin by copying the placement used from the input symbols. We should be able to fix PartBuilder so that it does not look for this file when converting symbols. But for now, we'll use the Create or Fix button to generate one. And we'll say Create or Fix symbol grab, and we'll do a save here, continue. And so now SMART-FRAC created this SDL from template.sdl. So if we go look at that, we can open the SDL editor. When we open the SDL editor, it's going to complain. It's going to ask us to rename this because SMART-FRAC created that. So let's open the SDL editor. So it says the template was auto-generated, and we want you to choose a new file name so we don't lose any edits if SMART-FRAC runs again. So we say OK, and it defaults us to new symbols. Let's call it symbols from OrCAD.SDL. And this is using the old SDL editor. Let's go back and use the new one. And that's because there's a setting in the site file that uses the old one. So we're going to open with a new SDL editor, which is just faster and easier to look around in. Okay. So if we want to go back and take a look around, we can see that on the left we have VN1, VN2. On the left we have SVN. Then we have a track SS. We have a mode, a comp, an int VCC, and a run pin. On the right we have VOut 1 to 3. We have FB1. We have PGood, and then there's a big space here, which SMART-FRAC saw and said, okay, I'm going to create a new section in the symbol with balanced symbol sides. If we slide all the way down here, we should have some top pins. So on the top, we have a spacer by 8 to get us out to here. Then we have the clock in pin. We have the clock. We have another spacer by 2. We have the temp pin. We have a clock out pin. If I look at that. And then we should see some pins on the bottom. So on the bottom, we have ground 1 to 21. We have S ground 1, and then we have a spacer by 10 to get to the end. So SMART-FRAC read this symbol up and created SDL for us, and that's the whole trick of doing the conversion. So SMART-FRAC does all the work. The next step we'll do is we're going to run SDL map.